In Parashat Shemini, we are told which animals are kosher for consumption and which are prohibited. And the Torah tells us that the mammals require two sides. They have to have a completely split hoof and they have to chew the cud. It then lists 4 animals that have one side and not the other side. There's the gamal, the camel. There is the arnevet, some type of a rabbit. There's the shafan, which we'll speak about in a moment. And then there is the chazir, the pig. The first 3 chew the cud and do not have a split hoof. And the 4th, the chazir, the pig, has a split hoof and does not chew the cud. In the Midrash, it relates these 4 animals to the 4 empires. In Jewish history, there were 4 great empires that oppressed the Jewish people. There was Babylon, there was Persia, also known as Media, Persia. There was Yavan, Greece, and there was Rome. And the Midrash tells us that the shafan, that's that second animal, the shafan, this correlates to the Persian Empire. What is a shafan, firstly? Shafan is referred to as the Hyrax. The Hyrax is a small, furry little creature, which, as it actually says in Psalms 104, Silaim Marcela Shafanim, that they enjoy hanging around the rocks and the cliffs. You can find the Hyrax right here in South Africa, in the Cape, and all the way up to the land of Israel. You'll find them on cliffs and rocky areas. Here in South Africa, we refer to them as dassies. Quite cute little animals. They don't grow to be particularly big, but interestingly enough, they are related anatomically. Their closest relative is, in fact, the elephant. And the Midrash tells us that the shafan, it correlates to the empire of Paras Madai, of Persia, of Media, modern day Iran. And why is this so? And it gives us 2 fascinating explanations. One explanation is that just as the shafan has one kosher sign, it chews the cud, but it has one non-kosher sign, it doesn't have a split hoof. So too, when it came to this empire, it produced kings who were very wicked and those who were very righteous. So it produced Achashverosh. He is the king in the Purim story who, together with Haman, was going to commit genocide against all of the Jewish people. But it also produced Cyrus and Darius. Cyrus the Great, one of the greatest kings and one of the greatest heroes of Jewish history, even though he was a non-Jew. And the Tanakh, the Jewish Bible, speaks with great reverence about him. And he gave permission to the Jewish people to go back and to rebuild the temple, to make the second temple. So you had wicked people, wicked leaders, and you had righteous leaders who were well disposed to the Jewish people. And Darius also, which is something rare in its time. Another thing the Midrash says is that the kosher sign of the shafan, the dassi, the hyrax, is the fact that it chews the cud. In other words, it's something that has to do with its mouth. And therefore it says that they praise God. The Persians, we find, in particular with Cyrus the Great, that he praised God. So Persia has always been somewhat of an anomaly in Jewish history. On the one hand, a persecuting power that really did very, very wicked things against the Jewish people, but at the same time, in some ways, with their salvation. And if we look at the situation with Iran, with the war, which hopefully by the time this video airs will be over, we see also, on the one hand, Iranian leaders wanting to wipe out the state of Israel, and on the other hand, your average Iranian person is actually well disposed towards Israel and is very against their regime. So perhaps they are like that shafan, they are like that little hyrax, and we will see good things from them, and that they produce wicked people, but also great and righteous people. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.